Alrighty, so here we are on the inside of the garage tonight to look at the 1980s frame, which is currently upside down. Let's see if we can get a bit of a panoramic view there for you. Alrighty, so here's what I know about the frame, is that everything looks pretty decent. There's a small bit of a rust issue right there where you can get a screwdriver up underneath. Each one of the body mounts look to be in pretty good condition. The frame itself looks to be good. I don't see any unbelievably rusted spots. I had to burn out one of the leaf springs right there. Other than that, the frame looks to be pretty good, and like I said, it comes from a 1980s. I have yet to actually check the VIN number on the frame to see what specific year, etc. that it came off of, and I will do that here before it goes to sandblasting and powder coating. But that is basically the frame. Had a couple bolts snap off in the front. One right here, I believe, and then two of them right there. The two of them I were able to get out. This one I was not able to get out, and had to kind of smash it down with a hammer and cut it out a little bit. So I'm gonna have to be welding that that nut back on, or somehow figuring out how to get in that hole right there, and to hold the nut when I screw everything back together. Alright, so having said all that, here is the front axle with all the steering mechanisms and what nuts and what have yous on it right there. And the rear axle we have right over here. Not necessarily sure what the gearing is or how it all is going to play out or work out, but my plan right now is to keep the stock suspension for money and because I kind of like the looks of the stock suspension. Okay, and also we have, here is the extra inline 6 258 that is in unknown condition. There is some, I'm assuming it's in pretty rough condition, but that's just me. Although that oil filter does look fairly new, but you never can tell. I don't know. It could be old, it could be new, it could be just fine, it could be the biggest piece of crap ever. I don't know. Then here, I'm going to grab this flashlight because it's not that greatest amount of light over here. We have the extra T18 transmission, and this all was a rolling chassis that I got, and took everything off, removed all the brake lines. You can see some of them over there. It's my golden crapper in case you want to see it. But this is basically going to be the foundation once it gets sandblasted and powder coated, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using some of the Eastwood products and maybe pour 15 on the axles and the leaf springs here. But that is basically the 1980s frame, extra engine, the T18. Well, the T18, it shifts through when you take up the linkage here and move it through. You can shift it through each one of where it needs to go, and I put a shifter in that in the hole here. As you can see, it's, let's see if we can get down in there. You can see it. You can see it's kind of rusted down in there, but it looks to be doing a pretty good job. Like I said, it shifted through all the gears, so I think we should be good there. But I'm definitely going to rebuild it, or have someone rebuild it. I haven't decided on that part of it yet, but we're pretty far away from that at this point in time, so we can discuss that later. Anyway, this is the frame and the extra engine. the T18 transmission, front axle, and rear axle that will be utilized in the final Jeep. The next video will probably be the engine running. It's at night right now, otherwise I'd show that to you. That Jeep's outside. But there it is.